So the question people are asking is, why can't the Secretary of Defense, or for example, the president, order the killing of somebody under the circumstances that we see with these Venezuelan boats? You know, what happened is there were 2 survivors of a Venezuelan boat. Somebody ordered a subsequent attack. And the answer is, assuming that these were even soldiers and enemy combatants, which doesn't appear that they were, the rules of war do not permit that. And we're talking about American rules. Okay, there's this thing called the Lieber Act of 1863, General Order 100. And that was created by the United States, and it was created by a German attorney named Lieber, who was a soldier. He fought in Europe in 2 different wars, and then his sons were part of the Civil War. In fact, one son was killed fighting for the South, and 2 sons fought for the North. And the concern that was being raised at the time is, what do you do with enemy combatants who are not wearing uniforms, guerrillas? What do you do in instances where there is people, you know, for example, black soldiers who are being executed by the Confederates as escaped slaves, or rebels, if you will. And so these laws were passed and designed to create a situation in which people were not being cruel for no reason, because that is the difficulty with war, is what is the difference between, you know, killing somebody for no reason at all and killing somebody because you're trying to win a war. That's always where the term the fog of war comes from. And that's where people legitimate all kinds of horrifying shit that soldiers do with the common refrain, you weren't there, you don't know what it was like, you know. And of course, these guys are soldiers. This guy, Lieber, was a soldier, actually, and his son were soldiers. And so when you say that, you're forgetting the fact that the Uniform Code of Military Justice and all of these people who are involved in this, they themselves were soldiers. So we don't take advice from the grunts, or, for example, some major in the National Guard who's telling us what the law is. We rely upon smart people to handle this. So it's a very, very interesting act. You can read about it in Wikipedia. But the basic idea is that we don't kill defenseless people for no reason. And it's pretty interesting how it talks about morality, it talks about God and things like that. And what's fascinating is to watch the Make America Great crew, who supposedly are Christians, the ones turning all of this upside down on their head and saying, you know, president should be able to do what he wants, while turning around saying they're moral people. When in fact, all of these laws are designed and created by people who are often quite like them.